Hey, what's up? We're coming at you on a Friday night. Yeah, I guess it is Friday. We're coming at you on a Friday night. Voice crack. So, basically, what I wanted to talk about was, I kind of wanted to talk about some shit that I saw going on. That's been pretty big news on YouTube lately, and
Uh,
you're a fucking idiot, dude. Seriously, what the fuck? You're a fucking
I'm so
retard. Honestly, you're so fucking stupid. You know how fucking loud that was? You know how fucking loud that was? Can I fucking continue now or what?
yeah, I had to sneeze. I'm sorry.
Dude, it sounded like you got fucking jump scared by something. What the hell? Yo, fuck, dude, chill the fuck out, bro. Let's chill out for a second. Okay.
I'll try to mute myself. I feel
All right, all
control going
right,
on.
all right. So basically, I saw that something was going on. Pretty much, Nicocado, however the fuck you say his name, Nick Avocado, is back in the YouTube media again. Um, so basically, the YouTuber Penguinz0, Moist Critical, basically made a video entitled "Nikocado Avocado is slowly killing himself." He then made a response to Nick's response, and while I understand the sentiment that he was going for, I totally get it, and I do understand like what he was trying to say. It's one of those things where I have to kind of take notice because I feel like he was spreading around a little bit of false information. You know?
No, I don't actually, because I'm not a professional in this field.
Okay, okay. Well, anyway, I actually have quite a bit of notes here to go over this with because I kind of took a script, but Penguins, this isn't like attackful or anything like this. Like this isn't hateful. I'm not attacking you or anything. I just saw this as an opportunity to potentially give a little bit more of a perspective on this. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a genius in this. However, I can provide a little bit of ethos, a little bit of credibility. I have been going to college for this for 2 years at this point. So I can give a little bit of credibility. And I just kind of wanted to. This was exciting to me because I can educate a little bit and I can kind of relate what I'm learning back into real life. So I actually really appreciate that. But anyway, my first thing was that there are multiple times, like in his video, where I've actually heard him like say things like, and it shows to me that there's still an eating disorder present, right? And I noticed that that's not potentially true, um, because like to say that Nick has an eating disorder I believe is wrong because those specific words, eating disorder, the DSM-5 only recognizes like a few specific eating disorders classified as eating disorders. Otherwise, the other ones are actually uh, not qualified. They're categorized as other feeding and eating disorders, and that's not what he said. He said eating disorders and not in the other category. So I kind of wanted to break down a little bit of what was going on, right? I kind of wanted to break it down. But basically, the DSM-5 covers a little bit of eating disorders. And I'm going to go over. What the fuck is going on over there?
Uh,
I can hear every single noise in your background.
hang on.
Yeah, fix that, please. That's kind of annoying. But anyway, I'm just gonna go through this really quick. But this is something that I wanted to talk about because I remember at one point he was actually wondering if Nikocado Avocado had an eating disorder, And like I said, he actually said that it makes him think that there is an eating disorder present still. He actually said that. But the eating disorders that the DSM-5 specifically address, one of them is anorexia nervosa. And basically, anorexia is when, by definition, somebody has to be underweight, right? And there are two types of anorexia. One of them is the restrictive type, where you don't eat a lot and you starve yourself. Restriction of energy intake relative to requirements, leading to significantly low body weight in the context of age, sex, developmental trajectory, and physical health. Significantly low weight is defined as a weight that is less than minimally normal, or for children and adolescents, less than minimally expected. So basically, you are below the threshold that they want you to be, to the point where it's considered abnormal or unhealthy. Um, an intense fear of gaining weight or of becoming fat, or persistent behavior that interferes with weight gain, even though at a significantly low weight. That's another criteria. Another criterion, because criterion is singular, I just fucked that up. Another criterion for this specific disorder would be disturbance in the way in which one's body weight or shape is experienced, undue influence of body weight or shape on self-evaluation, or persistent lack of recognition of the seriousness of the current low body weight. Now, why am I bringing that up? Because that's one of the eating disorders that the DSM-5 has, and Nicocado Avocado obviously doesn't have that. And so the other one would be bulimia nervosa, and bulimia is basically binge eating extremely high portions and then vomiting. And I actually have the criteria for that one as well. And this criteria is recurrent episodes of binge eating. An episode of binge eating is characterized by both of the following: eating in a discrete period of time an amount of food that is definitely larger than what most individuals would eat in a similar period of time under similar circumstances, or a sense of lack of control over eating during the episode, a feeling that one cannot stop eating or control what or how much one is eating, potentially. Recurrent inappropriate compensatory behaviors in order to prevent weight gain, such as self-induced vomiting, misuse of laxatives, diuretics or other medications, fasting or excessive exercise. The binge eating and inappropriate compensatory behaviors both occur on average at least once a week for 3 months. Self-evaluation is unduly influenced by body shape and weight, and the disturbance does not occur exclusively during episodes of anorexia nervosa. So we really don't necessarily have enough to decide if Nikocado Avocado has bulimia nervosa, but there are some things that we can kind of assume are not happening. You know, like the inappropriate compensatory behaviors like over-exercise, misuse of laxatives. We have no idea if that's happening. I'm just going to assume it's not. So he could potentially have bulimia nervosa, but at the same time, I don't necessarily feel like he's compensating for eating this much food. I don't feel like he's compensating at all. I feel like he's just eating the food and then not doing that. So another potential disorder that Nikocado Avocado could have, right, is a disorder called binge eating disorder. And basically, binge eating disorder is recurrent episodes of binge eating. An episode of binge eating is characterized by both of the following: eating in a discrete period of time an amount of food that is definitely larger than what most people would eat in a similar period of time under similar circumstances, a sense of lack of control over eating during the episode. Binge eating episodes are associated with 3 or more of the following: eating much more rapidly than normal, eating until feeling uncomfortably full, eating large amounts of food when not feeling physically hungry, eating alone because of feeling embarrassed by how much one is eating, feeling disgusted with oneself, depressed, or very guilty afterwards. Marked distress regarding binge eating is present. The binge eating occurs on average at least once a week for 3 months. The binge eating is not associated with the recurrent use of inappropriate compensatory behavior. It sounds promising, but at the same time, no, it doesn't, because looking at these binge eating criteria, marked distress regarding binge eating is not present. Nikocado Avocado obviously has no distress, so he does not fit that specific criterion. He also does not really fit binge eating associated with three of the following. I mean, eating much more rapidly than normal. I guess you could say that. I don't personally feel like that. And a lot of these, even though there's criterion, it still like requires the physician or psychiatric expert to make an evaluation and make a call based on their own, cognitions at that point. So, eating until feeling uncomfortably full, I don't think so. Eating large amounts of food when not feeling physically hungry, we can't fucking tell. Eating alone, obviously not. And feeling disgusted with oneself, depressed, or very guilty afterwards, I don't see that either. I mean, so that's another thing that we can kind of do. And now, that might seem weird, but scrolling through here, that's it. Like, those are the eating disorders that the DSM-5 classifies as eating disorders. The other disorders, right in this book, actually, specifically say they are classified as other. Like, they're not classified as eating disorders. They're classified as other disorders. Now, a lot of people are bringing up the point of they don't necessarily think that it's relevant whether he has a disease or not. And because obesity is a problem. And I can definitely say that I agree with you that obesity is a problem because I have some evidence right here. Like, for example, right? This is kind of also saying, kind of debating what Penguinz said that he has an eating disorder because obviously he doesn't meet the criteria for eating disorder. And even if he did, there's absolutely no way that we could know. So, I mean, when he says that's how I can, like, that's why I feel like there's still an eating disorder present, I mean, you can kind of guess maybe, but at the same time, sedentary lifestyle, overeating are both very common. 66% of the United States is overweight or obese, all right? That's not abnormal behavior. Overeating is not abnormal behavior. Neither is sedentary lifestyle, all right? So it's not an eating disorder. That alone is not an eating disorder. There needs to be significant psychological and somatic stress, and there's not, all right? Like, there's debate with the DSM-5 because it it's over-pathologizing. Oh, my fucking God. It's, like, over-clinicizing, like, normal behaviors. Like, it's making normal behaviors abnormal. And the word that I was going for is over-pathologizing is what it's doing, right? There's a debate that it's over-pathologizing normal behaviors. As in, it's taking normal behaviors and trying to make them clinical. As in, saying that they are a disorder, all right? That is another argument for why I think that he's wrong to say that there's still an eating disorder present because I don't necessarily feel like that's true. Another thing to kind of, like, throw this out there is Michael Phelps eats a fucking shit ton, all right? So do other people like that. Oh, well, they exercise. That's my point that I'm getting to, all right? They eat a lot, but they exercise. Nick's weight is most likely not due to an eating disorder. It is most likely due to consciously choosing what food to eat that is rich in calories, fat, sugars, and cholesterol, and choosing to live a sedentary lifestyle. That is also not an eating disorder, and that's probably why he's fat. So for him to say that he thinks there's an eating disorder, like, present, I'm kind of rebutting, saying there's not. I don't personally think that there is, because I heard him say that, and I was like, this is a perfect thing for me to apply what I'm learning in school to kind of talk about this. I don't think there is. Like, I honestly, going by criteria for eating disorders and looking at Nikocado Avocado, I don't think that there's an eating disorder, and I don't think that you should say that you believe there's an eating disorder, because a lot of the time there's a lot of stigma built around eating disorder, and you don't want to label people as well. So those are two things why you shouldn't say there's an eating disorder. I'm not saying Nikocado Avocado is healthy. Like, I'm not saying that, because there's a lot of evidence in that book that I'm getting all my information from of why it is so important to prevent obesity and why it is so dangerous and how the mortality rate is like extremely fucking high, and it's projected in 2025 to be the leading cause of death. Like, I'm not saying that it's not dangerous. I'm just saying that, like, I don't think it's fair or morally right for you to say that you think an eating disorder is here, because I'm kind of trying my best to prove that there's not an eating disorder here. Because when you use the term eating disorder specifically, you have to refer to the eating disorders that DSM-5 classifies as eating disorders. And if Nikocado Avocado went into a doctor, that is the only way you would know if these eating disorders were present, because you do not have the information to say that. You are completely blindly shooting at a wall to say that you think an eating disorder is present, because while there are some signs, you have no idea, because you are not interviewing him, you are not giving a semi-structured or a structured, you're not doing an evaluation, you're not doing an analysis, you have no idea if it's there or not, because you are not doing the proper things. So I just don't think it's right for you to say that you think an eating disorder is there, because that can bring about a lot of negative stigma and a lot of negative things. So I don't think it was right that he said that. That's my, like, personal thing. I mean, there's a possibility that he might have restrictive eating disorder, but that's usually seen in people who are very deprived of nutrients and very skinny, because they pick specific things that they want to eat, and that's all they eat. Like, if you ever seen, like, My Strange Addiction, where, like, they only eat cheesy potatoes or shit like that, that's restrictive eating, where you don't eat things because the smell or the taste has an aversion to you. That is associated with something negative, and it's been associated to the point where it's physically damaging and stressful to you to attempt to eat it. So that is restrictive eating. But even then, I don't feel like that's correct, because he's not underweight. Like, that's all I'm saying. And like I said, there are more disorders in the, literally, it's called this other specified feeding and eating disorders category. That's not what he said, though. He said eating disorder. I just went through the eating disorders that DSM-5 classifies as such. I mean, there could be more than that, because I'm going through my textbook right now. Like, this is my psychology textbook. That's what it's saying are classified as eating disorders. It's saying that those ones that I just went over, those are the ones classified as eating disorders. So he doesn't meet the criteria for any of those, and even if he did, you wouldn't know. There's no way you would know. So you shouldn't say that's why I think, and I actually directly quoted from him, because that's exactly what he said. He literally, in his own words, said those, and it shows that there's still an eating disorder present. That's literally what he said in one of his videos, and it shows that there's still an eating disorder present. What shows that? He's not been, to my knowledge, Nikocado Avocado has not been diagnosed with an eating disorder in the past. How would you know that there's still an eating disorder present? You fucking wouldn't, because you don't have the information, because you're not sitting him down in a sterile setting and evaluating him as you should be, and that's it. Really? I mean, like, and the whole point is that at one point Nicocado actually brought up the point that Penguinz0 said that he had potential eating disorder, and even Nikocado Avocado was kind of rebutting that, and I completely agree with him. There's no fucking evidence at all besides meeting some of the criteria that he has an eating disorder, and that's not how they work. You have to meet the criteria. You can't just fucking meet like 3 of them. You have to actually meet the damn criteria. So I mean, you can't just say, oh, he checked 5 out of 7 boxes, eating disorder. No, you can't fucking do that. And I don't really feel like he's, like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I don't really feel he's as educated on this specific topic. So when he just said eating disorder, maybe he didn't know the criteria, maybe he didn't know all this shit. But at the same time, you should be educated before you say something like that because you don't want to spread around misinformation. So there's a couple other things. I mean, the debate of...
Now, whoops.
No, you can go.
Okay, so I do have like a genuine question when you were talking about oh god, what the fuck was it? Shit. I had the perfect question. Oh god.
Just ask the fucking question.
Damn it.
Just ask the question.
Damn it. I'm trying to think of it now. Fuck.
You forgot your fucking question? Or did you forget the disorder? Just ask the question.
It was pertaining to the eating disorder thing. It was
just ask the question. Like, just ask the question.
I'm thinking of it.
Okay. All right, my man. All right, I got you. I got you, boy.
Damn it. Okay, compensation is something that was brought up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you know how the whole thing with Nicocado, whatever the fuck you want to say it.
Yeah.
You know how his thing is. You know how his thing is like, oh, it's just water weight.
That's okay.
When it's clearly not.
All right, that's not physical compensation though. That might be a coping mechanism.
Okay,
that might be a mental coping mechanism. That's not an actual, like, you can't do that. Like, that's not an actual criteria for compensatory. Like, that's maybe a coping mechanism for being fat. I mean, it might not even be a coping mechanism. He could just be saying that because it's very clear that Nikocado Avocado is playing a character, and it's a fucking stupid character, in my opinion. So most of the shit he says, I guarantee he doesn't mean, and he's just playing up for views. But I mean, like whatever, you know? But anyway,
I just wanted to get that out of the way because it was like a genuine thing that popped up.
Yeah, but
in my smooth brain.
So here's the thing, right? A lot of, like, really quick, what's the difference between binge eating disorder and bulimia? You might, like, wonder because they had, like, almost the exact same criteria. With bulimia, you don't have to be underweight, by the way. You can be normal weight, even overweight with bulimia. Right? What is the difference between binge eating and bulimia? Bulimia, compensatory behaviors. Binge eating, those are not present. There are no compensatory, there are absolutely no compensatory fucking behaviors with binge eating disorder. It's basically bulimia, but you don't compensate for it. You get what I'm saying here?
Okay, so, like, what would qualify as, like, compensation?
I actually went through it, but misuse of laxatives, like taking a fuck ton of laxatives so that you can shit out the calories, throwing up, like things like that. That's what compensating is for, you know, you're trying to compensate for the calories. Like, some people might exercise a fuck ton, but basically because you put so many calories in, it's like, well, now I have to find a way to balance that out, compensate for it.
So then, by that definition, what was the other guy that was brought up? The one that eats a fuck ton of meat and shit.
Michael.
But then, like, exercises.
You see, here's the thing, right? With Michael Phelps, there are other criteria, like, besides just compensatory behaviors. Like, there are other criteria than just, you know what I'm saying? It's not just compensatory, and like that and the fact that Michael Phelps doesn't just eat like he doesn't just do that randomly. Michael Phelps would do that, number one, on purpose, and number two, would do that all the time because he's not compensating by exercising. He's eating that much because he would fucking die if he didn't when he exercises as much as he does. So it's not even compensating. Like, it's almost compensating the reverse way. I know I'm going to exercise the fuck out of myself. I have to eat 5,000 calories. Because I'm going to fucking die if I don't. Because my body will start to fucking eat itself because I'm not getting enough nutrients.
Okay, so if I got this right, you basically have to meet every checkbox, and it can't just be a select few.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting from this.
So,
okay.
In the book, like, I can't really show it because it would, like, fuck up my camera, but, like, I can kind of describe how the boxes are set up, and I feel like that might help. Like here we go, right? So here we go. So it says A and B, and then C, D, but underneath B it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If it's lettered, you have to meet it. You need to meet that.
Okay.
Like, you need to meet that. However, like, at B, it says, during the period of mood disturbance and increased energy or activity, 3 or more of the following, 1 through 7, you don't have to meet all 7. You only have to meet 3 of them. But if it's, like, A, B, C, D, you do have to meet those. Like, and why is it like that? Well, mostly because of the fact that they can't necessarily be 100% sure with their diagnosis if they don't, because if they don't meet everything, like you can't be confident, you know what I'm saying, that what you said is correct.
Uh-huh.
Don't ask me how it works, but that's but there's actually another question that a lot of people have been asking. That's not because there's 2 questions. One, does Nicocado Avocado qualify for an eating disorder? Personally, I don't think so. I don't know either though, because he could go to a fucking psychiatrist and go and get evaluated for this, and maybe he does. But the whole point I'm saying is that you can't say there is if you have no fucking idea. That quote, and that tells me there's still an eating disorder present, because that's an exact quote that I took from him himself. You can't say that, and you shouldn't say that, because you have no fucking, you have no clue, you know what I'm saying? You have no idea. But,
yes.
But, that's the first question that people ask is, does he have an eating disorder? I don't think so. Does Nikocado Avocado have a disorder? That is another question, and that is completely different. So, if people are seeing what Nikocado Avocado has been doing for the last couple of videos, where every single video is my diagnosis, ... my new diet as a disabled person, I'm disabled, blah, 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 then people might be thinking, I don't really believe that, because he's so, in pain because 3 of his ribs are broken, supposedly, that one day he has to lay in bed and moving his arm up hurts, and the next day he does jumping jacks in the middle of his door frame and stomps around and shit to prove that he's not fucking dying for being overweight. That's in his response to critical. It's I find it very hard to believe that literally 1 or 2 days ago your fucking ribs were broken. Really funny, my stepdad broke his ribs. He was bedridden for fucking months. And he could, even when he wasn't, he could barely walk, and he was dude, I don't fucking believe it for a second, personally. I mean, I shouldn't, throw in my opinions, but I don't believe it at all. But anyway, people might be thinking, faking an illness to get, faking an illness or an injury to get attention sounds...
Where have I heard that before?
It sounds strangely... It sounds very weirdly like a disease called Munchausen syndrome, or how it's officially in the DSM-5 called fictitious disorder. I'm not saying he I'm not saying... Listen, I'm not saying he has it, because I'm actually... I'm gonna go over this right now. I'm not saying he has it, but he ticks on some boxes. The criteria for fictitious disorder: falsification of physical or psychological signs or symptoms, or induction of injury or disease associated with identified deception. The individual presents himself or herself to others as ill, impaired, or injured. The deceptive behavior is evident even in the absence of obvious external rewards. the behavior is not better explained by another mental disorder, such as delusional disorder or another psychotic disorder. Now, here's the thing. He seems to fit A, B, and D because I don't necessarily think he has another disorder. C is where this gets really fucking muddied. The deceptive behavior is evident even in the absence of obvious external rewards. Now, here's the thing. If people think that he wouldn't be doing this if he wasn't getting YouTube views and money, he does not qualify for that disorder. Now, you might be thinking, oh, is attention seeking a disorder? Is that an actual disorder? There is no disorder for attention seeking. It is a component in borderline personality disorder and histrionic personality disorder. And I can go over those. I don't really think I have to because judging by the video alone, there is absolutely not even close to enough for us to like say that he has this, because for example with histrionic, like you have to actively be pursuing the center of attention, and one of the criteria is you feel uncomfortable when you're not the center of attention, and another one in the criterion is that sexual encounters like are awkward and like they don't necessarily like work as they should. And that's really strange, but that literally is what it is. And I can actually, if you want me to, pull up the I can pull up the criteria for this because I feel like it is sort of important. Here we go. Histrionic personality disorder. A pervasive pattern of excessive emotionality and attention seeking beginning by early adulthood and present in a variety of contexts as indicated by 5 or more of the following. Is uncomfortable in situations when he or she is not the center of attention. Interactions with others is characterized by inappropriate sexual seduction and provocative behavior. Displays rapidly shifting and shallow emotions. Consistently uses physical appearance to draw attention to self, has a style of speech that is excessively impressionistic and lacking in detail, shows self-dramatization, theatricality, and exaggerated expression of emotion, suggestible, easily influenced by others, considers relationships to be more intimate than they are. Now, right off the bat, displays rapidly shifting and shallow emotions, consistently uses physical appearance to draw attention to self, shows self-dramatization, theatricality, and exaggerated expression, and is easily influenced by others or circumstances. I feel like Nick is those 4, and that's just my evaluation of it. I don't think he fits another one of these because these are all interpersonal things that there's no way we would know because we're not watching every single thing. But it seems like he does have histrionic personality disorder. Like, he's one short, but obviously he doesn't fucking meet the criteria if he's one short. So again, we can't just say that he has it because there's no way for us to know. Now, like I said, another one where attention seeking is a component is borderline personality disorder, and the criteria for this one are way fucking longer. But a pervasive pattern of instability of interpersonal relationships, self-image, and effects, and marked impulsivity beginning by early adulthood and present in a variety of contexts, indicated by 5 or more of the following. Frantic efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment. A pattern of unstable and intense interpersonal relationships characterized by alternating between extremes of idealization and devaluation. Identity disturbance, markedly and persistently unstable self-image or sense of self, impulsivity in at least 2 areas that are potentially damaging. Examples: spending, sex, substance abuse, reckless driving, binge eating. 5. Recurrent suicidal behavior, gestures, threats, or self-mutilating behavior. Affective instability due to a marked reactivity of mood. Intense episodic euphoria, irritability, or anxiety, usually lasting a few hours and only rarely more than a few days. 7. Chronic feelings of emptiness. 8. Inappropriate, intense anger or difficulty controlling anger. 9. Transient, stress-related, paranoid ideation or severe dissociative symptoms. I don't feel like he meets more than like 2 of those. So again, we can't just fucking say that he has a disorder. I mean, because these aren't like good things to say. Because that's labeling someone and you're not even fucking accurate. I know that that's not really what Penguin's meant to do, but by saying shit like that, you can't just say stuff like that. Like, you know, I mean, you can say, I think he has an eating disorder, but when you say, there, like, you know, I think there's still an eating disorder present and shit like that, it's like, you can't really do that. And I kind of wanted to just get on here and, like, kind of rebuttal that I don't believe he has an eating disorder, because once you actually look into it, I don't think he does, and there's no way that you would be able to know. But one thing that I noticed is I feel like Nick is malingering, and basically I told you about fictitious disorder, where it has to occur specifically outside of external rewards. Malingering does not have to appear specifically outside of external rewards. However, malingering is not like officially a DSM-5 like disorder, but he totally is malingering. There's no fucking way someone could look at what he's doing and saying that he's not malingering. Like that CPAP machine, because he snores, like he said he has had that since his childhood. Why the fuck are you just now putting it in your videos after you just said my diagnosis and I'm disabled? Doesn't that strike you as weird that after those 2 bombshell video titles, he puts on his fucking CPAP machine and he's like, oh, it was because I broke my ribs and I was coughing? And it's like, dude, I don't know about that, to be honest, because you could also do that not in your video. Like, I feel like the reason why he did that is to overplay the situation, to make it seem like he's way fucking worse off than he actually is. And I feel like Charlie, like Penguinz0, actually saw that and said, wow, if everything that I'm seeing, like all these thumbnails and everything that I'm seeing is accurate, he is slowly killing himself and is really close to, you know, dying. I'm not sure he's close to dying, but just from like the stuff I read in this book, he has shortened his life by so fucking much, and I can tell you he is 100% at risk for a bunch of stuff. 100% at risk. So, you know, I feel like he is malingering, and he is like overplaying his hand a little bit. Kind of like when that one YouTuber said that she had cancer, but she had like a kind of cancer that you could like fucking dig out with a spoon, essentially. You know, or when Extreme Games, those 2, said that they were dying and they fucking weren't because they're still around, and they make shitty cancerous videos now.
I was about to mention them, and I'm so glad you did.
I'm dying
because I didn't know how to segue.
I'm dying of vertigo, dude. Every time I wake up, it's just absolute vertigo.
Dude, my granddad has vertigo.
Every time I wake up, it's absolute vertigo, dude. I'm clearly dying, alright? Clearly dying. I'm dead already, dude. This is just my ghost. I already fucking snuffed it due to my vertigo, bro. Really stupid, but like, that's all I'm saying, you know? I mean, another thing is that I thought that Nick potentially might have narcissistic personality disorder, and the evidence for that one is actually a little bit like more believable on the other ones. He fits a little bit more of the criteria, and again, you can't say that he has it, you know, because there's no fucking way that you would know. But it is something to potentially consider, I guess, because you, like, the evidence is a little bit, like, a little bit strong for this one, and I'm going to read off the criteria, and if you watched Nicocado Avocado's, like, video or anything like that, you can probably, without me telling you which ones kind of scream out, you can kind of tell which ones, like, work. Narcissistic personality disorder, a pattern of grandiosity, need for admiration, and lack of empathy, beginning by early adulthood and present in a variety of contexts, as indicated by 5 or more of the following. 5 or more. Has a grandiose sense of self, exaggerates achievements and talents, expects to be recognized as superior. A grandiose sense of self, like an overinflated self-concept, a grandiose sense of self, a need for admiration. I don't know, man. Kind of, Nick. Preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love. Again, sort of, he's kind of always focused on growing his fucking YouTube channel, which is why he's doing this. So kind of. Believes that he or she is special and unique and can only be understood by and should associate with other special or high status people. Requires excessive admiration. Has a sense of entitlement, unreasonable expectations of especially favorable treatments, or automatic compliance. Is interpersonally exploitative, takes advantage of others to achieve his or her own ends. Lacks empathy, is unwilling to recognize or identify with the feelings and needs of others. Is often envious of others or believes that others are envious of them. Shows arrogant, haughty behaviors and attitudes. I'm not going to say anything, but Nick, I feel like if you went to get an evaluation on narcissistic personality disorder, there's a good fucking chance that they might say you have it. However, that's if you believe that the Nikocado Avocado in his videos is the real one. There's no fucking way, by the way.
I was gonna mention that too.
There's literally no fucking chance, right? There is more chance of you walking outside, winning the lottery, laying a golden egg from your anus, and getting struck by lightning at the same time. All at the same time. There's a better chance of that shit happening than the Nikocado Avocado in fucking his videos. That's the real one. That's who he is off the camera. I don't believe that. I mean, if it is, he totally has narcissistic personality disorder. He did meet 5 or more of those criteria by my personal opinion. I'm not an expert. I'm not fucking registered. I'm just somebody who's like applying what I'm learning to real life. And it's like, you seem to meet a little, like, you seem to meet some of those. Like, it appears that you meet quite a bit of those, So it's like, my dude, if he has anything, he might have that. But again, there's no fucking way that the Nikocado Avocado you see in videos is the real person. I just can't fucking believe it, because I don't know. I just can't believe it. There's no fucking way. There's no way. But like, at the same time, you also have to think, is he doing that? Is his act, his character, is that potentially a symptom? Like, is that a symptom of his narcissistic personality disorder? Is he doing that so that he gets all the attention that he wants? You get what I'm saying here, right? Maybe we don't maybe we don't suspect he has narcissistic personality disorder because that's the way he acts. Maybe we should suspect that he has it, and that's like a cause of him having it. Like, because people are thinking he's acting that way on purpose to get views so he doesn't have it. Well, what about the counter argument? He's acting that way because he does have it, and it's a side effect. Like, it's a symptom of having it, you know? I mean, I'm not saying that he has it. That's the whole point of this video, is that you can't fucking say that, like, oh, and that shows, like, because, like I said, that quote, and that shows that there's still an eating disorder, like, and, like, he's not saying, I think, or anything like that. A lot of what Penguinz0 actually said was, like, he has a eating disorder, like, shit like that. You cannot do that. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can, like, speculate, because I'm not, like, analyzing him in a serious manner. I'm not saying that my word is the fucking gospel. I'm doing this to kind of emphasize a point that any schmuck off the fucking street can read some diagnostic criteria and say, well, according to me, you do have it. It's way, 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 way more complicated than that. You have to know the person's, like, history. You have to know where they're from, because there's socio-cultural, like, differences depending on where they're from. You know, like, the society and the culture can completely, like, determine if like, the way that they're acting is going to be perceived as more pathological, to the point where they actually do have something. Because the behaviors in one society, if they go to another society, they, like, that new society might think that they have a disorder and that they're pathological, but they might not have it, because those are completely normal in their own society, which is why the DSM-5 has something specifically for that. I can't remember the name of it, like, exactly, but it is literally a huge list of questions, kind of like a survey almost, where they learn about all that so that they can properly, in a societal context of your place where you grew up and you live, determine if you have a disorder or not. Like the whole point of my video is you cannot be so confident he has an eating disorder, because it's way more nuanced than that, and it's way more fucking complicated than just saying, well, I mean, Joe fucking Blow, think that he has it because he meets these criteria. Like, these are the criteria that you have to meet. Like, these aren't fucking bullshit criteria. These are the real DSM-5 criteria. But in order to use those criteria in an active, like, appropriate, effective way, you have to fucking be trained and know what you're doing. Otherwise, any motherfucker could, like, single out one specific instance of somebody behaving in a certain way and say, that person has a disorder because they meet these criteria. And why is this important? Because there's stigma attached to disorders, and you shouldn't just be fucking throwing around the concept that somebody has a disorder, because that's damaging to the person. That's a label. That's stigma. You should not do that. So personally, I don't think that Charlie was in the right. Like, I don't think he was in the right to do that. I don't think he should have said that. I don't really think the words eating disorder should have come out of his mouth, to be completely honest, because I don't think that was correct. So I wanted to take this video and I wanted to respond to him saying that I understand what he was trying to do, and it was a very good video, actually showing genuine concern, but I think you overstepped your boundaries a little bit when you started talking about eating disorder and shit, because it's way more complicated than that. And even Nikocado Avocado addressed this, and I agree with him. I totally agree with him. I don't think he has an eating disorder. I don't think he does. Like, but nobody knows for sure until he goes and gets tested for an eating disorder. You know what I'm saying? But, like, my whole point is that he shouldn't have done that. I don't think he should have done that, and I think that Nicocado was 100% justified getting pissed off because, like, Charles made a fucking video, Penguinz0 made a video saying that he thinks that he has a fucking eating disorder. Like, and people might say, well, didn't you make a video saying that you think he has narcissistic personality disorder? No, because I wasn't being serious, number one. I'm demonstrating a point here. I'm not doing it seriously. I feel like Charlie was in that video. I'm not doing it seriously. I'm emphasizing a point that while the criteria are fucking good, they're completely meaningless if some fucking douchebag idiot who doesn't know what they're doing is behind the wheel. I'm not calling Charlie a douchebag idiot. This is not a malice video. I'm not attacking you. I just saw this as a potential learning opportunity and a way to kind of like throw my dick into the conversation and get a fucking crumb of traffic to my channel. A fucking crumb. You know? A fucking wee morsel of traffic. You know what I'm saying? I just saw this as an opportunity to kind of put my input out there and to kind of build it as an educational opportunity and kind of link my stuff that I'm learning to real life, because this is a real life thing that's happening. And I was like, holy fuck, this is a good chance to put some of my education to use. So that's why I did this. It's like, I just don't think he should have said what he said. And I think Nicocado was completely justified saying that's kind of fucking fucked up that you said. That shows that there's still an eating disorder evident. That doesn't show shit. It doesn't show fucking anything. It does not show that there's an eating disorder still. No, it fucking doesn't. Like, eating a bunch of food doesn't equal fucking eating disorder, dude. Like, you can't say that shit. Like that's just it, you know. It's
I know I know you want traffic to the channel and everything, but like given how Nicocado actually acts, I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if we upload this and tomorrow he has like 6 videos made on this specific video.
You know, that no one's gonna see this fucking video. I mean, I really hope that like Penguinz0 will like take a look at this and hopefully doesn't see it, hopefully doesn't think we're attacking him or anything, because that's not the purpose of this. Like, and Charlie he's a really fucking nice guy. He's a really awesome guy, really nice. He's not gonna watch this, but on the off chance that he does, I really fucking love his content, and I just wanted to throw my input in on the subject. This is a very big fucking thing. Like, Charlie's video's got like 10 million views with the 2 videos that he made about this. This is a big fucking thing going on right now. And it's like, I just kind of wanted to like throw my input on here. And like, I'm not defending Nick at all either. I mean, it's just kind of like, I saw that he was sort of using disorders and shit as almost like cannon fire. And it's like, I just don't think you should have brought that into it. Like, and people are like, oh, well, you know, he said he thinks he has an eating disorder. He didn't say, and it proves there's an eating disorder. He's like, I still think there's one. You shouldn't have done that either, because in a video where you're trying to, like, number 1, show, like, that you care about someone, and number 2, be balanced and fair, you should not try and fucking armchair psychiatrist diagnose him with a fucking eating disorder. Like, this is completely different. I'm not diagnosing him with anything. I'm proving a point here. But, like, in that video, he did talk about eating disorders. I don't think you should have done that, because I don't think that's fair, and I don't think that's morally and, like, ethically all right to do, because there's a lot of implications with that. And I just don't think it was relevant to the subject, and I don't think it was needed at all. I just don't think you should have done it. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but, like, people need to take psychology and mental illness seriously. We can't just fucking throw a bunch of misinformation out there and treat mental disorders like they're the word idiot. Oh, you're an idiot. Oh, you have a fucking mental disorder. No, you shouldn't fucking do that. All that does is build stigma. That's all that does, is build stigma. You shouldn't do that. And you shouldn't just throw it around like nothing. You should treat it in a very serious manner. I just don't think you should have even brought up the words eating disorder, because to my knowledge, Charlie, you are not a psychiatrist or psychologist. I don't think you should have done that. Like, and like I said, I'm not being an asshole here. I'm not trying to be. I'm just saying, like, that's my personal opinion. And
well, I mean, to be fair though, you don't have to be a professional in the field to have an opinion.
That is completely true. Yeah, I mean, like, that is completely true. It's just kind of like what I said. Like, my opinion is he might have narcissistic personality disorder. That's my opinion. But it's like, that's my opinion as a fucking amateur looking at criteria. Whereas an actual professional might sit Nicocado Avocado down and say, you don't qualify for a single one of these. Like, it's about how you address, like, going into the evaluation and how you actually understand the criteria. So it's like, you can definitely have an opinion. It just shouldn't be about something as serious as a mental illness. It shouldn't be an opinion about that in a video like that that's, like, public. That's not what you should do. Like, I really don't think you should do that because you're a big YouTuber and, like, people follow what you say, and even when you don't want them to do shit, they're still gonna do it. Like, they still go and harass people and all this shit. Like, I don't think giving them that fuel of Nikocado Avocado has an eating disorder is a good idea. Like, you can have an opinion. I just don't think it should have been present in that video. I mean, like, here's the thing. My opinion, I truly do think that he might have narcissistic personality disorder. I truly do think that, but that's where it ends, and I realize I am probably completely fucking wrong because I'm not a professional. Like, you can have an opinion, but for the most part, you should keep that to yourself and not use it in a video like that. And like I said, a lot of people might say that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it to kind of draw a parallel because that's what he did. That's what I'm doing. It's just that, like, I'm doing it to draw a parallel to say it's not okay for either one of us to do it. Like, I shouldn't be sitting here saying, guys, he has narcissistic personality disorder. I mean, I could say, well, I don't know, he might. I mean, I feel like that's all right because, like, that's not saying anything. That's not saying that he has it or anything. It's like, well, he might. You don't know. Like, anybody can look at criteria and form their own opinion. I just feel like when you have, like, 8 million subscribers and you say that proves there's still an eating disorder, they're all going to fucking believe that he has an eating disorder because they're probably not educated on the criteria of eating disorder. They're just like, oh, fat fucks that eat a lot of food, that's an eating disorder. Not really, but that's what those people are probably going to believe. And not all of them. A lot of people are completely fucking smart and, 100% like smart individuals who have common sense and are like, caring and good people. But there are people like from that channel, from the fucking Penguinz0 channel, who go and harass people and like fight this fucking holy internet war and shit. And it's like, that's giving them fuel for the fire to go and say, this bitch has a fucking eating disorder. I just don't think he should have said it. Like, he should not have brought in disorders. If you really did care, like, I'm not saying you don't care, but it's almost counterintuitive to say, like, that you're doing that video because you care for him and you don't want him to continue doing what he's doing because he's going to kill him. Like, he might die from it. I don't think that that's in the same vein as saying that he has an eating disorder, because saying that somebody has an eating disorder is kind of slanderous, to be honest. So I just don't think he should have done it. That's really it. I still love his content, and I think he might have realized his mistake when Nikocado Avocado like responded to him. I'm pretty sure he even addressed that he shouldn't have brought in eating disorders, like, which is amazing. I think that's a good thing that he realizes he shouldn't have done it because I don't think he should have done it. But we all make mistakes. That's perfectly fine. I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in on it, That's really all I wanted to do. I mean...
Well, if one thing's for sure, Nick definitely needs help.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, because, like, it's not healthy. Like... That and the fact that one more thing I want to talk about really quickly, I don't think that fat phobia is a good thing. People are like, oh, well, is it healthy to be fat? It's okay to be fat. Like, I don't think it's healthy to be morbidly obese, and I feel like if you are, you should probably fix it. But like, it's okay to be fat.
Right, you probably shouldn't look like Eric Cartman at the age of 8. Is all I'm gonna say.
Like here's the thing. Yeah. Like here's the thing, right? The body is very complicated. There are set points. And if you get below a set point that your body has set, then your body is going to extract more nutrients and calories out of the food that you eat, and you're going to be hungrier because you are getting below that set point. So it's like fat phobia is not okay. It's not. It's just not fucking okay at all. Because number one, people might have medical conditions that cause them to be that way that they can't really help. And you being a fucking prick about it is not going to help. You are the asshole. Like, you shouldn't do that. It's okay to be fat, all right? It's okay to be overweight. It's okay to be fat. It's just that, like, you know, the body positivity thing, I agree. It's just that, like, it's okay to be fat and all that stuff, but once it's getting to the point where it's, like, a severe threat to your life, that's not all right. However, if you see, like, an NFL player who's fat, or, like, your friend is fat or something like that, it's okay to be fat. Like, you can be fat and not have it be, like, a serious problem because that's just your body. You're just fat. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
I feel
like Nicocado Avocado brought this up too. You can be skinny and unhealthy. You can be fat and healthy. Like, that's something that he was correct on, in my opinion, is that you can be fat and healthy, and you can be skinny and unhealthy. So it's like, fat phobia fucking sucks. Don't be an asshole. Don't be fat phobic, please. Don't be a prick. Anyway, you were saying something real quick. What were you saying? Yo, you were saying something. What were you saying? Bro, are you fucking there or what? Okay, I guess. I mean, well, I don't know what happened. I guess a fucking tornado hit my friend's house over here. And he's just fucking dead now or something. I don't know. Spontaneously, his fucking internet connection combusted or some shit. I don't know. But, I'm gonna try and wait it out. Like, get this fucking person back in here. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened. Are you there? I am talking to you directly now. Okay, I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, God fucking damn it, dude. Everything has to, like, what the fuck is up with this guy? Seriously. Everything goes wrong with you. Nothing can go right. Seriously, what the fuck? Oh my god. Dude, you fucking muted yourself, you
Okay,
dumb
I have
fucking
no
cuck idiot.
No, I
No.
didn't. I did
Yes,
not
you
do-
did. Yes, you did.
I did not.
No, I'm gonna fucking show you this video when we're done, and there's a little fucking microphone cross. You fucking muted yourself. Like, my thing didn't go out.
Yeah, I muted. Yes, I muted myself because I didn't want to fucking stutter over everything.
Bro.
Like, on my end, you went completely blank.
That was you.
blank.
That was you, because I was still completely fine with everything. It's like it's like Mr. fucking technical difficulty again. Crashed the fuck out of here. Like, I'm just sitting there, like, you were saying something, you know? Like, you were saying something, and I interrupted, and I was like, yo, are you gonna fucking continue what you were saying, or what? And I sat here for, like, a fucking minute, and you were just completely fucking gone the entire time. So I had to fucking fondle my phone, trying to not look stupid, while autocorrect changed literally every single fucking word I typed got changed by autocorrect. Every single fucking word. So I'm trying to text. I'm trying to text you to get your stupid fucking ass back in here, and my goddamn phone is changing every fucking word I type. Every word, literally every single word.
If I were religious, I'd be swearing on a stack of Bibles right now. Your screen, on my end, your screen went completely black.
Bitch, fucking just continue what you were saying. Just continue what you were saying.
So
Dude, it better be good.
What I was saying.
It better be good, because
what I was saying.
If it's not, it better be good, because if it's not, I'm cutting that 2 minutes of awkward bullshit completely out of the fucking video. So it better be worth it.
Okay, so what I was saying about the whole fat phobia thing is that, I agree to an extent, like, especially if you have a medical condition that you can't really control. But if it's of your own making, like, say, if you sit on the couch all day and eat 40 bags of ranch Doritos, then yeah, I feel like it warrants a little bit of criticism, because that's not exactly healthy to do.
A little bit. I mean, when you go to the doctor and they tell you to lose weight, a lot of people will, like, actually give you a diet, number one. And a lot of people will say, hey, just make sure you exercise more, because the number one cause of, like, obesity is actually sedentary lifestyle. Like, because people have actually, like, there was a recent science experiment that came out that said that, number one, exercise doesn't burn as many calories as we think, because our body, like, compensates for it. And two, your metabolism actually stays steady after 25. So that's not an excuse. It literally is eating too much junk food and not exercising enough. Like, that's the main thing, is eating too much junk food and not exercising enough.
And that's why I say, if it's of your own making, and if it progresses to the point to where you look like a walking land whale, then, I feel like it warrants a little criticism. Like, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings when I say you need to lose a few pounds, but it's for your own good, because you are literally dying.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, almost every single fucking American probably lives a pretty sedentary lifestyle and probably eats too much junk food. I gave the statistic that 66% of Americans, like, get qualified as, like, overweight, obese. Like, that's the fucking majority. Like, and that's from, like, the most, like, obese to, like, the smallest overweight, but it's like that's the majority of people that do what we're talking about, which is being sedentary and eating too much junk food. That's, like, the majority of people. So it's like, I guess it can warrant criticism, but at the same time, like, it kind of is everybody. Oh my!
Well, yeah, but just because it's everybody doesn't necessarily mean it's it's void of. Like,
I completely agree. Like, just because everyone does it.
The fact that half of the U.S. population looks like the characters from WALL-E is a problem, and I feel like it needs to be addressed.
It is a
It
is a problem. It totally is a problem, and it's like, just because the majority of people are doing it doesn't mean that it's good, number one, and doesn't mean that it can't be changed, number two. Like, both of those things are possible.
Unless you have a medical condition.
Yeah.
Which even then, there might be something you could do, but,
Right? I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with you here, Rick. Ooh, I kind of agree with you here.
Ooh-wee.
Oh god, dude, that was fucking awful. I can finally delete.
Man, that's
I
fucking hot.
I can finally delete all the old videos now, because I've uploaded them all. I mean, one of them is private because we have some absolutely fucking scalding hot takes on that. This video is gonna go up tonight. It's gonna go up, like, right now, like 9:20. You can probably see it. Happy October, everybody. I'm really
This month. Yay.
I'm really trying to keep these uploads consistent. I've talked with my roommate and asked him when he's gonna be gone, if he's ever gonna be gone on Saturdays. And I told him that I do podcasts on Saturdays, and he was like, "Oh, that's fine, man. Even if I'm in here, you can record and stuff." So the podcast is going to happen more than we think. It's gonna probably start to get that consistent rollout again. It's gonna be consistent. It's gonna start rolling out, which I'm fucking so happy about. I'm trying. I've been kind of overloaded, However, the good thing is once October 22nd rolls around, I'm done with one of my classes. I'm done. My abnormal psychology class, actually, I'm done. So I only got like 21 days to continue doing this class, which is 3 weeks, I think. So, I mean, whoo boy, I'm pretty sure it's October 22nd. I think it is. Which is like, that's close. It's kind of fucking hard to believe that I, have been cruising along. That's kind of fucking insane, to be completely honest with you. It's kind of crazy. It's really hard to just kind of believe, But at the same time, it really kind of helps me out because I'm getting through it, I'm powering through. I'm getting stuff done. I like that a lot. So, I mean, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. Charlie, I still love the content. I really do. I think you're a good person. Just kind of wanted to throw this out there, see what happens. Just kind of put my opinion in there. If you don't have anything else, I think that's it. I think that about wraps it up. If you don't,
yeah, I just wanted to point out that we started this podcast as appreciation for Perfect Apocalypse, and now we're talking about Nikocado Avocado and the potential mental disorders he has.
Yeah, I mean,
how did we go from that to this?
Oh, we grew as content creators, I guess. I mean, that's kind of what our podcast, even from day one, kind of was anyway, was like current events anyway, so this is kind of like the special, I mean, this is kind of like a special that we decided to do. But that's kind of what we do. We're like the off-brand scarce of YouTube. Except for you can't trust a single fucking thing that we say because none of it is objective. It's all subjective. Wait.
And we're somehow worse.
Yeah. Hey, scarce is good. Fucking Keemstar is bad. Scarce is good, actually.
I don't like any of them.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Scarce here.
I'm gonna cut that fucking tree down, too.
Fucking film an entire video in Scarce ASMR.
Like, please don't.
Why is it that like Scarce is not an ASMR channel, but Scarce seems like an ASMR channel, even though he's not? Hey, what's
Somewhere
up,
on YouTube he has an alt channel where he does weird shit like that.
Wait, Scarce does?
No, but I bet you he does. He seems like the kind of guy to do it.
Yeah, I mean...
Somewhere, I guarantee it.
So, I mean, now would be the time where we, plug our merch or, plug our second channel. I'm just gonna... Fuck off. What are you doing? God.
I'm sorry. I just fucking lost it at the merch plug bit.
You're so
that's funny. That's funny.
Shut up! So, now would be the time where we, plug our merch or we, plug our second channel. We don't have any of that. I'm just going to plug this channel. So, I mean, you're on this channel. Click on the channel below and watch more videos. I'm just going to plug this channel.
And I'm going to go plug the toilet.
Okay, yeah, we're definitely we're definitely we're definitely ending it right there. So Hugh Jackman Beard is signing off.